Hi-ho, folks, and welcome back to the adventures of Turwinkle, the Gnome Mage. Well, hi, Turwinkle.
Salutations.
Are you all set for tonight?
Sure.
Great, because as you can see, here we are in Netherguard Keep, and we're going to be talking with Chivarlys End, a fine guild here on the Wormrest Accord server, and on the Alliance side. And so we are going to go ahead and find them. They're somewhere in the keep here, and we're going to learn all about their guild, Chivarlys End. And so with that, let us go and talk with these fine folks. Alrighty, folks. Well, we found them here in Netherguard Keep. Again, Chivarlys End. And right up front here we have the commander. Is it Marigathor? Is that how you pronounce that?
Warlock the Darkfrost.
Okay, he's the veteran fighter, the butcher of Vendetta, commander of Chivarlys End. His nickname is Morrow, the War Machine. William Wallace, the son of Stormguard, formerly of the Alliance Marines, the Kingdom of Erythor, and Warrior Clan. He is a level 91-eyed, prosthetic-armed Stormguardian warrior. He's currently holding together even if the pain is still visible. Were you in a fight recently, sir?
Much worse. His daughter actually passed away 3 days ago, I believe.
Oh, holy smokes. I'm sorry to hear that. That is horrible.
Yeah, he's pretty broken up about it, but he's surviving at least.
What happened to her?
She succumbed to a Death Knight plague after she received serious wounds in a battle.
Oh, that is no good, sir. No good at all. Well, I see behind you you've brought a group of folks with you as well, so let us go ahead and meet who you've brought with you today.
Alrighty then. I have two officers currently to help me lead. That is Renard Hearthfold and Nubashia Hearthfold. They are married, of course, and they help me lead.
Okay, awesome. And so a married couple, both officers. Great. How long have they been in the guild?
They've been in the guild for 2 months now after their guild, Order of the Ghostfanged, merged into Chivarlys End.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it's good to have them. And so let's see who's next here.
In the first row, we have Sir Solus Blackpool, and he is a warrant officer of Chivarlys End. Next, we have Sergeant First Class Tennis Sabathon. He's been with me for a while, and he's a great soldier. Then we have Sergeant Ashlyn Lawton, and she is one of our few recruiters at the moment. And then we have Amber Sheridan, who is a specialist and helps me write the handbook that governs everything we do.
Okay. Now currently she has meh. Amber, why meh?
No. I'm never bored in this guild. I just had a long day today.
Okay. Well, great. Well, you know, sometimes real life can make RP a little bit like, But, you know, I think sometimes, too, it helps with those long days as well. So, okay, all right, great. All right, next, sir.
In the second row, who should be coming up now, we have Lance Corporal Alzakar Jettery, who's our resident wizard. He usually helps us with anything magical related. Then we have Private 2 Crimson. He's currently in Arathi in a spying mission, as well as Jackson Hull, who's one of our newer members, and he's a private. And lastly, you have Liana Evermist. She's also a private and a longtime friend.
Again, hold on. At the end here, we've got Liana Evermist, who is currently not dealing with your crap, sir. What, Liana? What's going on there?
She's just not, like she's not dealing with anybody's crap.
Okay. All right. Well,
she's fed up.
Okay, there we go. Wonderful. All right. All right, next.
Next we have Private Thalen Donsworn. He's also one of our newer members, but he's made good impression so far. Then we have Priam Blackwood, who's also a private, and along with the other two rogues I mentioned earlier, is currently on a covert mission in Arathi. And lastly, we have Recruit Arishna. She's probably our newest member, and we love having her so far. It's great.
Well, wonderful. It seems like a great bunch that you brought with you here today. And so with that, folks, we're going to find out why they're here, and we're going to find out the guild that they're in. And again, that is Chivalry's End, and so we're going to find out all about this guild. So we'll be right back with that. All right, folks, and we are back, and we had someone show up between takes here, and that is... Who do we have here, sir?
This here is, his name is Chef, but he's one of the newer members of the guild, and so far he's been making a few ripples with what we've been doing.
Okay, well, it's always good to have new people making ripples, sir.
Yep.
So welcome, Shadowfoot, and we'll have him get back in line, and then we will start the discussion here. All right, sir. So the first question we always ask is, how did you come up with the name Chivalry's End?
Well, it actually spawned from a storyline I did a while back where Marthor's guild was in Northrend, and they had to go up on an airship to take out some bad guys, and the airship's name, I needed an original name, so I just decided Chivalry's End was a good one, because, you know, they're done being nice, and it just fit. And a little while later was when I made this guild, and I didn't want to make it something like Legion of the blah blah blah, or Order of, or anything like that. I wanted something more original and unique, something that doesn't necessarily say what we are as much as who we are.
All right, awesome. So it has a kind of a literal meaning as well. You guys aren't going to be playing by the rules, as it were.
We play by the rules. We're neutral good, so we play by the rules, but we know when to break them.
Okay, excellent. And so with that, what kind of guild are you folks? Are you a heavy RP, medium, light RP guild? What kind of guild are you?
Chivalry's End is a heavy roleplay militaristic guild, paramilitary to be specific.
Okay, and what do you mean by paramilitary?
They aren't an official division of the Stormwind military, though they work closely with them and they act just like it.
Okay, so more like a militia then.
Correct, but more official, just not all the way, if that makes sense.
Sure. Well, wonderful. And you are a heavy RP guild as well. Do you folks PvE or PvP at all? Raid or do any battlegrounds, that sort of thing?
Nothing organized now. You can usually find a buddy to go through some random dungeons or raids with, though.
Sure, you got to get the transmog gear somehow, is that correct?
Exactly.
All right, well, awesome. And so, what is the history, the RP history of the guild? Do you have an RP backstory for the guild?
That we do. The story is that after Chivalry's End was formed after the Fourth War, that being the war against Garrosh. The reason it was formed is because, obviously, the Alliance lost a lot of men in the Fourth War. So with that gap in the ranks, several Stormwind officials came to Marthor, who had recently retired from his position as High Lord of the Nightfall Vanguard, and asked him to put together a new outfit to help fill the void.
Okay, and so you filled it with these fine folks behind you, And so, folks, when we come back, we'll find out how you can be part of this guild and how you can help fill that gap. So we will be right back with that. All right, folks, and we are back. And so now, Meryl, let us talk about getting into the guild, because let us say I've made a new character, I've seen this episode, I love what you guys are all about, and I want to join the guild. So who do I talk to first and foremost?
Currently we have 2 recruiters always willing to initiate new members. That is Sergeant Ashton Lawton and Sergeant Olive Hemsworth.
Okay. And so just contact them either through in-game mail or in the game, is that correct?
Correct.
Excellent. And so what kind of, is there an age restriction to getting into the guild first and foremost?
Yes, you have to be at least 15 years old because, of course, we aren't always appropriate, and we don't want little kids hearing what we say all the time.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. Is there a level requirement? Do you have to be a certain level to get into the guild?
Not at all. And we'll help you level if you ask.
Okay, so even level 1s can get in. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And is there an RP requirement? Because you guys are in heavy RP guild.
We like you to have some idea of what you're doing, and we'll gladly help you learn the ropes if you ask.
Well, great. It's always good to hear there are guilds out there willing to help new RPers, because everybody's got to start somewhere, and it's always easier to, I think, break into RP if there's a guild that's willing to help you. So that is good to hear. Now, is there a race or class restriction getting into the guild? I see you have some Draenei and some dwarves here, and humans, of course.
Not at all. We welcome all walks of life, including classes such as Death Knights and Warlocks. However, we do have strict laws against the use of minions by those 2 classes. Necromancy and Demonology are not allowed in Chivarlys End.
Oh, okay. And why is that, sir?
Well, Mark is a veteran of the Third War, so he's seen firsthand what the Scourge can do, and he never wants anything to do with that again. He's willing to accept Death Knights because he understands their plight, and the king said so, but he won't condone them raising more undead. As for demons, just because they're demons, he doesn't like them, and he views them as unnecessary and lowering oneself to the level of the enemy.
Okay, well that makes sense. Now, you folks do not have a website, but you have a wonderful GHI item. Is that correct?
That is correct. It is a handbook detailing everything the basic member could need to know. From our laws, the oath you have to take upon joining, our basis of operation, allies, our training regiments, campaigns, literally everything. It's 53 pages.
Oh man, that is a big project. Who put that together?
That would be myself and the lovely Amber Sheridan, who was a great help in porting over a lot of things from an old handbook I had. Then I would go in and edit it appropriately to match for Chivalry's End.
Okay, so is it something that's constantly updated and tweaked here and there?
Nope, I'll update it when it needs to be, and then once enough updates are in, I'll sort of publish that as a new version and hand that out to all the members, because I want to be constantly giving them new versions of it.
Oh, wonderful. Well, that's awesome. And so, folks, when we come back, we will talk about what those rules are. And so we will be right back with that. And we are back, folks. And I just wanted to point out that Torquus of the Steelpaw Shadden guild over on the Horde side there, a blood elf, OOC Alt MIA of Steelpaw. Is it Shadden? He's a blood elf mage, and he's here helping actually to keep the guards busy, because the guards' path would go right through the middle of the guild that we're talking to, right through Chivalry's End. And so a good friend of Morrow's has come to help, and he's doing a great job, just kind of taking a beating here for the interview. So a wonderful job by him, and so again, we want to thank Torcus for taking the time tonight to help us out. So thank you, sir. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Morrow, is there an in-character or out-of-character interview to get into the guild?
There is a in-character interview.
Okay, and what does that consist of?
Well, first there are a few in-character requirements that must be met. They're simple ones along the lines of the applicant must be at least 18 years of age, but no older than 50. And this applies only really to humans, since we don't really judge the age of, like, Draenei. The applicant has to be a member of the Grand Alliance by either birth or oath, so just which means any of the Alliance races. They need to be able to actually be a soldier, so they can't have, like, a leg missing if they actually want to be in the combat part. And they can't have any major warrants for arrests. Anything minor we can deal with.
All right, and so Turwinkle has passed the interview. He's meets all the requirements, and he's made it into the guild. And so, what are the guild rules that I have to follow now that I'm in Chivalry's End?
As for our rules, we have 3 different classes, or 3 different tiers of offensives and punishments to match. Of course, the severity of the offenses and punishments go up. In Tier 1 offenses, you have basic things like disrespecting fellow members or officers, thievery from other members, vandalizing property of Chivalry's End, and public indecency or intoxication. And the punishments go along with that are paying reparations, cleaning duty, guard duty, and general community service things.
Okay.
The next tier consists of infighting or assaults of fellow members, thievery from Chivalry's End as a whole, disobeying orders, trespassing, practicing necromancy or demonology, or disrespecting Chivalry's End's colors and crests, Star Tower flags. And the punishments go along with that are a bit more serious. They include demotion, suspension from service, or prison time served in our cells.
Alrighty.
And the last tier is, of course, the highest one. Those are only for the more severe offenses. That'd be espionage, treason, murder of a fellow soldier, desertion in the midst of battle, or compromising Alliance assets or personnel. And the punishments go with that are exile, which is the equivalent of a guild kick, long-term imprisonment, and execution. Though we understand that not everybody is okay with character death, so we have a rule that by committing a Tier 3 offense, you're inherently accepting the possibility of a Tier 3 punishment.
All right. Well, that I got to say is some great rules, and certainly something that you would find in a real military. So excellent. Now, are there any out-of-character rules being part of the guild that you have?
No strict rules, just a couple of notes to keep in mind. Like, we like to keep guild chat at least semi-decent, PG-13. No trolling, of course. And that's honestly about it. Be productive. Be active. We run drills on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and if you miss 3 of those, then you can be demoted. So it's good to attend those.
Oh, okay, and we will be covering guild events here shortly. And so, where would I be placed as far as ranks as a new member?
As a new member, you'd start off as a recruit. That's the rank for just sort of testing the waters, see how you like the place, the like.
Okay, and how long would I remain a recruit?
You will remain a recruit until you have completed at least 3 of the drill sessions. and then you'd be promoted to private.
All right, and so I'm a private. How long am I a private for?
You'd be a private until you've proven yourself as a dedicated member. Overall, we have 26 ranks, I believe, which there are 10 total ranks, one of which is our out-of-character rank, but each static out-of-character rank can have several sub-ranks. For example, private, starts off as private, then there's private 2, then there's private first class. And then for sergeant, there's there's sergeant first class, master sergeant, sergeant major, the like.
Okay, and so basically by participating in the guild and proving yourself, you're able to move up in ranks. And can you do that fairly simply, or does that take a bit of effort to do?
It's not easy to rank up in Chivalry's End. You have to prove yourself first, so it may take a good while.
Alrighty. Well, that is great, and it always gives you something to shoot for. Again, you'll find that quests and those sorts of things kind of run dry after a while, and so it's always nice to see that you have something to do in the guild as well, and something to shoot for. That always going for that next rank. And folks, unfortunately, again, as you can see, as we've been going along here, we got someone from actually the guild master of Standalone who's acting poorly. So keep that in mind, folks. When you're, especially on an RP server, when you're acting foolishly like Rebecca of Standalone, it just doesn't look good for you, especially if you're a guild master of another guild. So obviously level 66 human death knight, poor taste, and that's unfortunate. But we're not going to let that dissuade us. And so folks, when we come back, we're going to talk about guild events. And so we'll be right back with what Chivalry End does as a guild. So we'll be right back with that. All right, and we are back, and the troll went away, so that's good. Sometimes you just have to wait them out, folks, and you just send them a word saying, hey, if you could stop that, that would be great. And so it looks like Rebecca decided to stop, and so we appreciate her stopping the activity. And so we can move on. And what we're going to move on with is finding out about what does Chivalry's End do, Morrow, for guild events. We already talked a little bit about drill. Explain that a little bit more.
Well, being a military guild, we obviously have to keep our skills up, so we start out by running drills every single day of the week. Those will include getting information, marches, basic combat training, things of that nature. After a few weeks, we did lower the amount of how often we do it per week, and now we only have the drills on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. As for other events, we have normal little standalone events, ones that are part of the storyline. Like a few weeks ago, we went into the Netherguard mines to check out a few missing miners. Before that, we combated a ogre threat that threatened our keep. Nothing too serious quite yet.
Oh, wonderful. And so you hold campaigns and events along those lines. So that is great. Again, I always find that being part of a guild that's actively doing things throughout the week is a lot of fun, and it adds really to the game. And it takes something that Blizzard has made and really just makes it even bigger. It makes it a lot more fun than I think even Blizzard imagined it could have been. And by our peers using our imagination and coming up with events and drills and those sorts of things. So that is a wonderful job by you guys. On the other hand, nothing worse being in a guild that doesn't do anything. Why be in that type of guild? So certainly you guys are a step above those guilds that just, I guess, just PvE or what. So that is a great job. So folks, when we come back, we're going to talk about what their current storyline is. It sounds like we've had some ogres and things like that, so we'll find out what they're currently doing. We'll be right back with that. All right, and we are back. And so, Morrow, what is the current storyline with Chivalry's End?
With the Fourth War over, there isn't much for the Alliance to do aside from rebuild and reclaim what they lost. So right now, Marthor is preparing Chivalry's End and a small number of other guilds as well for a large campaign that will be taking place in the north, in Arathi Highlands. Goal of this is to help the Storm Guardian forces try to reclaim some of their land. It'd be a long campaign, of course. Probably long enough to hold us over until Warlords of Draenor comes out.
Oh, okay. And so you guys will you folks be stationed in Arathi then?
Yep, it's a deployment style RP, so we likely will not be returning to Stormwind for some time.
Oh man, so pack your bags and get ready for a long fight, is that correct?
That's correct. That's what they've been doing for the past 2 weeks now.
Now, have you been working with other guild leaders to coordinate this campaign?
Yes, I have. The Guildmaster of Strong Reclamation Army he and I are the ones leading this, and 4 other guilds are also joining in. Those guilds are the 1st Coalition Legion, Clan Dragonhammer, House Longhammer, and possibly the Nightfall Vanguard. We don't know yet, though.
Oh, wonderful. Well, again, I love where not only you have just guild RP, but you're including the community as well. I think it always makes it for a more enjoyable situation when you have more people doing the RP. So great. It sounds like a lot of fun. And so, folks, when we come back, we're going to get to my favorite part of the interview, and that's where we get to talk to individual members in the guild about why they're there. Why do they enjoy the particular guild they're in? And so we're going to talk to some of these folks and find why they've chosen Chivalry's End as a home. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And again, we are at my favorite part of the interview where we talk to individual members about why they're in their respective guilds. And so first up tonight, we have Amber Sheridan. Blade Dancer, Shadowmancer, Specialist of Chivalry's End, is a level 90 half-elf rogue, and again is our currently meh. And so, number one, half-elf. What do you enjoy about that, being a half-elf?
Well, actually, at first I had her as like quarter elf, but then I was doing the math in my head and that just doesn't make sense. So half elf, I know it sounds overplayed, but I don't play her to the point where, oh yeah, I'm a special little snowflake, I'm better than everybody. No, I just don't play like that.
Okay. And so what do you enjoy about being in Chivalry's End?
Well, Chivalry's End in general is just, it's such a nice atmosphere because I've gotten to know everybody so well, and all the guilds I've been in with Morrow have been fantastic. And I really have a hard time going into other guilds with different characters because I'm not having all my friends there with me, so.
Alrighty. And the folks are talking right over the top of you, I can see there. Okay, so, well, that is a wonderful answer, actually. And so thank you very much, Amber.
Thank you.
All right, folks, up next is Tanas Sabathan. Is it Sabathan?
Sabathon.
Sabathon, Lord of Moradel. A salt merchant, sergeant first class, sergeant of Chivalry's End, is a level 90 Northman human warrior. And a salt merchant, sir?
Yes, it's his business because he needs money. Everybody needs money, so he went into the salt business.
Oh, okay. And so they don't pay you here in Chivalry's End?
They do. It's just before I rejoined this outfit, I was a salt merchant, and I still am.
Okay. Well, it makes sense. Sure. Why not? And so, actually, what do you enjoy about being in Chivalry's End?
It's a good atmosphere and like a good atmosphere among friends, and it's well disciplined.
All right. Well,
Sorry, just like yeah.
Okay, well, excellent answer. I mean, yeah, you want to be in a guild that isn't kind of running all over the place, and you certainly want to be in a place where you're enjoying where you're at. So that is a great answer.
Yep.
All right, well, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, folks, up next is Priam Blackwood. She's a field medic, intelligence gatherer, nicknamed Pri, is a private of Chivalry's End, and is currently quiet. And she is really quiet because she's not in vets, so she has written out a wonderful answer for us here. And again, the question is, what does Prim enjoy about being in Chivalry's End? And she says, the most I enjoy about Chivalry's End is definitely the members of this guild. The only way I can describe them is as family. I've never felt so welcomed within a guild, and it's a pleasure to log on every day just to chit-chat. It's also a pleasure, scroll down here, scroll up here, to be able to roleplay with such an amazing group of people and participate in events that the guild holds. I could go on and on about what an amazing group of people Chivalry's End is, but that would take too long. So long story short, the members are amazing and I love each and every one of them. That is fantastic answer. Thank you so much, Prey. All right, folks, up next is Thailand, or as folks like to call him, Thailand, Don Sworn. Nicknamed the Child Knight. Oh, why the Child Knight, sir?
Well, he started up under his training as a paladin in the Silver Hand at a younger age, so the name I think just stuck on along as he started to take part in the Second War as a youthful but powerful paladin that served for the Great Alliance.
Oh, okay.
He's not really well known by it at this point.
All right, he's a level 90 human paladin, and is currently a private in the guild. And so, what do you enjoy about being in Chivalry's End?
The stake is the opportunities is what I really enjoy the most. I mean, for example, I've gotten the chance myself to just lead an event or two and be a part of several events. There's always things and activities going on in the guild, whether they're even just guild events. There's always people to spend time with. I mean, whether it's role play or any other activities that are socializing through guild. It's managed really well for me. It's the right fit I've been looking for a while for a guild, and I'm quite happy with it.
Oh, well, wonderful. That is an excellent answer, sir. Thank you very much. Alrighty, folks. For the very first time, we have a couple actually here, and they actually both tied on their roll, and they both tied, and they're both an in-game couple, so it worked out well. And so we have Oliva Druid, or Olive Lawton, is a sergeant, Echo's apprentice, privateer, Northgate rebel captain, nicknamed Armbearer, and or Arm Beater, sorry, sergeant of Chivalry's End, is relieved from duty, pregnant and showing a little bit, so that's congratulations there. And then we have Ashlyn Lawton, master thief, master navigator, and sergeant of Chivalry's End. It's level 90 Worgen rogue, and currently nothing really special going on there. And so, first of all, Olive has written out a wonderful answer here, and Olive says, my favorite thing about being in Chivalry's End is probably the amount of support OOC and ICELY we get. If we have an issue in real life, I know there's someone here I can talk to about it in guild. And events we always do are really well done, in my opinion. And the tragic ones are always the saddest ones. Teared up a couple times after a few events, getting to know a person so fondly and their character dies. It's an emotional thing. I'm not sure if I'm the only one with that, but still. I've been with this group of people for almost a year now, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. This guild is my home, and I am glad to call it that. And that is a great, great answer. Yeah, again, you'll find that will become emotionally tied with not only the guild you're in, but the people that are in it. So that is a wonderful answer. And so, Ashlyn, what can you add to that? What do you enjoy about being in Chivalry's End?
Well, a lot of the things I like about Chivalry's End is similar to what's already been stated. I've come to love the people here. I've been with them in another guild. I've followed them over, and more they keep finding more awesome people that I just keep, enjoying their company. They're, uh, the events they have are always so amusing. The characters are so good, and that's about all I can say.
Right, it's always hard to be the last person in line when they come up to answer, because usually you'll find that a lot of the quote-unquote good answers have been taken, but that is a wonderful answer as well, because again, you, like Olive said, you'll form these relationships with people, and it's always nice to have new people coming in that are just as good, and again, your core group of friends just continually grows. So that's a wonderful, wonderful answer. Thank you very much, guys. All right, folks, up next is the guild leader himself, Marrow Darkfrost. And sir, your question is a little different in that we ask, what do you enjoy about leading this guild?
Plenty of things, though chiefly what I enjoy most is the company my members provide, the fun events we run, memories we make, things of that nature. I always feel honored every day that they continue to put their faith in me to lead them.
Oh, you bet. And that's one of the things that I enjoy about a good guild, is that you'll find that there's always a good leader behind it. And it's always nice to know that you have the loyalty, as it were, and like you said, the faith of the folks that are under your charge in the path that you're going, and the role play that you're providing for everyone, and everybody's enjoying that. And so it does make it a lot of fun to come into and log on where you're enjoying something that you're doing, rather than, oh man, I got to go deal with these folks again. And so it's good to hear that you've got a good group behind you. And so folks, when we come back, we're going to find out actually if we've missed anything during the interview, and give Morrow an opportunity to speak to you folks and maybe add something that we might have missed, or just put out a good call to you folks. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty folks, and we are back. And so Morrow, here's the opportunity. The floor is yours to add anything that we might have missed during the interview, or to give a shout out to the folks. So have at it, sir.
I can't think of anything that we've missed, but hey, if you're looking for a great military guild here on Wormest Court, look no further. We have drills, events, at least one event per week, a uniform, discipline, and a great core group. I wouldn't trade these members for the world. And if guilds aren't really your thing, but you want to join the Arathi campaign that we talked about earlier, not a problem. You can still join, just whisper me and we can sort something out.
All right, wonderful. And again, let me just add from my perspective, these guys have been a lot of fun here tonight, and if they're anything like they've been tonight, you would certainly enjoy their company. They've been just terrific, and we've, like I said, had a lot of fun here tonight. So folks, if you do not have a guild and you are interested in joining a fun military type guild, this is the guild for you. So come and check them out. Again, this is Chivalry's End. And so with that, folks, we are going to come back, and Turwinkle's going to give his final farewell to Chivalry's End. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty folks, and we are back, and we just want to give everybody a thank you for your time and patience with all of Turwinkle's pestering questions here tonight. It really has been a lot of fun, and I've certainly enjoyed getting to know all about Chivalry's End here tonight. So thank you very much, folks.
Thank you for having us. It was a pleasure.
You bet. And so with that, folks, we are going to see Turwinkle safely back to Chillwind Camp. And so you folks have a good night.
You too. Chivalry's End.
And there they go. Alrighty, folks. Well, we made it safe and sound back to Chillwind Camp. And boy, Turwinkle, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Indubitably.
You bet. So let's give the Chivalrys End a nice thank you, sir, for allowing us the opportunity to speak with them tonight.
Thank you.
You bet. And so, folks, if you like this episode, hit that like button. It really helps Turwinkle and I out quite a bit. And if you would like to comment on this episode or on any of our previous episodes, please do so below. Let us know what you liked and let us know what you didn't. And finally, if you'd like to subscribe, well, we would love to have you. Just hit that subscription button today. Well, Turwinkle, excellent job as always, sir. And Turwinkle, we will see you next time.
I'll miss you.
We'll miss you too, Turwinkle. Bye-bye.